Morning, everybody. Good morning. Storyteller Auntie Jody here, and welcome to Story Time this morning. Happy Saturday. I've been having some technical difficulties just now with my laptop. I've been trying to get on here for the past 15-20 minutes, but thank God for the cell phone. We are still going to be jumping on. We're still going to be doing story time this morning. If this is your first time here, welcome to Story Time. And if you are one of my usual story timers, thank you guys so much for being here this morning. I really appreciate you guys. I am looking forward to seeing you guys on more lives as well as hearing you in the comment section. And of course, I would love to see pictures and videos of little ones listening in to their story time. Now, without further ado, let's jump right on into today's story time song. All right, everybody? Story time, story time, story time. Story time, story time, story time. When Auntie Jody begins to talk, I don't want to squawk, squawk, squawk. I want to listen. I want to learn. Story time. All right, one more time, everybody. And I do hope that you are singing with all your beautiful, beautiful voices. All right, everyone? Story time, story time, story time. Story time, story time, story time. When Auntie Jody begins to talk, I don't want to squawk, squawk, squawk. I want to listen. I want to learn. Story time. One more time, last time. And now we're going to do a big voice. Story time, story time, story time. Story time, story time, story time. When Auntie Jody begins to talk, I don't want to squawk, squawk, squawk. I want to listen. I want to learn. Story time. Good morning, Jaden Payton. How are you doing this morning? And where are you tuned in from? Please let me know in the comment section. Thank you for tuning in to Storytime. Once again, everyone, I'm Storyteller, your favorite storyteller, Auntie Jody. And this morning, we're going to be having fun with our story. And I'm also going to be sharing a few tips for the parents to use about how to decode words. All right, so you're tuned in from Maryland. Thank you, my baby. I'm going to be sharing after the story a few tips and tools to help parents on their journey of nurturing and raising confident and fluent readers. All right, everyone, get cozy. Find a nice spot. If you need your blankets, get your blankets. And if you need your stuffy, get your stuffy as well. And let's head on into story time. Can everyone see me well and hear me well as well? Let me know in the comment section if you're able to see and if you're able to hear well. Now, all my boys and girls, let's turn those listening ears on. Turn your ears on. Open those beautiful eyes and get ready to jump into today's story. Guys, look at this picture. Can you guys see it? I am not sure at all if I am loving this picture, boys and girls, because look at this. Oh, this little girl with this crown on her head. And look at all the kids around her who are running away. I wonder why they're running away. And oh, look at that part. She's also stomping on the words. Is that okay, friends? No, it's not. It is absolutely not okay to be stomping and to be grinning and having that smirk on her face. This story is called The Recess Queen. Oh, that's why she has the crown on her head. Queen, queen. So this word is associated with this object. Once you see that someone's wearing a crown, whether a boy or girl, it can mean that when it's a girl, it means that they're a queen, and when they have their crown on and they're a boy, it means that they can be a king. Today's story, boys and girls, The Recess Queen, was written by Alex O'Neill, and these pictures were drawn or illustrated by Laura Oliski Beath. I wonder what we learn about today. Let's find out. My. Mean Jean. Mean Jean? That's not a nice name to have. It says, Mean Jean was recess queen, and nobody said any different. That's right. No one said anything different. Nobody swung until Mean Jean swung. Nobody kicked until Mean Jean kicked. And nobody bounced until Mean Jean bounced. Guys, look at these boys and girls. Mean Jean is looking really scary here, friends. And then the kids are looking very scared. That's right. They're looking very scared. Can you guys see the picture? It is right. Oh no. And everyone is just standing still and not moving. That's no fun. Especially during recess, boys and girls. Don't you want to go outside to have some fun? Yeah, of course you do. I like having fun at recess. All right, give us 1 second, guys. All right, there we go. All right, so I love having fun at recess. Guys, what are some of the things that you do during the recess time, though? You play with that's right, basketball, your soccer ball, and you also go on the monkey bars too, if there are monkey bars at your school. But guess what, boys and girls? Mean Jean was so mean that the boys and girls did not have a chance to have fun during the recess time. If the kids ever crossed her, she'd push them and smush them and play on the slide. That's right. I know you have a lots of fun. That's also one of my favorite things to do, go on the slides and the swings too. So let's continue. If kids ever crossed her, she'd push them and smush them, la 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 lush them, hammer them, slammer them, kids and kajammer them. What? That's not okay, boys and girls. Do you guys do that when you're in the playground or on recess with your friends? Let me know in the comment section. So Mean Jean, she was always, look at her face, guys. She was always angry and mean. And the kids were always scared and they were not able to have a good time at recess. She pushed them, pushed them, kicked them, and slammed them. Can you imagine? And boys and girls, you should not be touching anybody. It's important for you to keep your hands and your feet on to yourself. Thank you, Auntie Dion. It's important for you to keep your hands and your feet to yourself. Yeah, please do not hit or touch or kick anyone. Please, boys and girls, do the right thing. Uh-oh. Look at this picture, my friends. Can you guys see the picture clearly? Look at the picture. Oh my goodness. Look at these kids over there. And this one, she has her hand folded because guess what, guys? I think she's frustrated. I think she's tired of Mean Gene. Yeah, that's what I think. And look at Mean Gene at the top of the slide, right? And she's looking down. Guys, can you stand up and do the action too? Let's go. Let's stand up and let's point down on the kids and let's be mean. That's not okay. I know some of you didn't enjoy that part. Not at all. And guys, here's what Mean Gene said. Say what? Mean Gene growled. Say who? Mean Gene howled. Say you! Just who do you think you're talking to? Mean Gene always got her way. Wow. I don't like this Mean Gene's behavior at all. Not at all. A new kid. Wow, guys, can you see her? Can you guys see her? That's right. A new kid came to school. Her name was Katie Sue. That's Katie Sue right there, boys and girls. A teeny kid, a tiny kid. A kid who might scare with a jump and a boo! That's right. So she was really small, friends. And the classmates, of course, minus Mean Gene, the classmates were super excited to have a new friend. Do you guys have lots of friends, boys and girls? Let me know about one of your friends in the comment section, okay? Tell me about one of your friends in the comment section. Right, so she was a new student, boys and girls, and she wanted to make friends, of course, and to enjoy her time. Ooh, look at that, at school. But when the recess bell went ringity ring, this kid ran ziggity zing. For the playgrounds, Katie Sue swung before Mean Gene swung. Katie Sue kicked before Mean Gene kicked. Katie Sue. The kids you might scare with a jump and a boo was too new to know about Mean Gene, the recess queen. And she was very much too new. She had no experience with her. But let's see what her experience will now be. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Oh, wow. Well, Mean Gene bullied through the playground crowd. Like always, she pushed them and squished them, lushed them, hammered them, slammed them, kids and kajamarum. And she charged after Katie Sue. Look at her, boys and girls. And she charged after Katie Sue. She started running fast and going towards her, guys. And Katie Sue, let's see. Wow, look at this picture. Let's look at the pictures and let's look at their faces, right? How do you think Katie Sue was feeling at this time? Because remember, she just came to school and she doesn't know anything about the school. She doesn't know anyone there. This is her first time at the school, but she's also very nice and fun. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments, okay? And then, of course, there is Mean Gene. Mean Gene, what's her feeling, guys? She looks so angry, annoyed, frustrated, scary, a little scary. Say what? She growled. Say who? She howled. Say you! She snarled and grabbed Katie Sue by the collar. Nobody swings until Queen Gene sings. Nobody kicks until Queen Gene kicks. Nobody bounces until Queen Gene bounces. and she figured that would set the record straight. So she's being really mean to this new kid. And guys, look at her face. She doesn't look scared of her. No. She looks angry, but she does not look scared. She figured wrong. Guys, look at this. Look at Katie Sue. So Mean Gene figured wrong. Katie Sue talked back. Just as sassy could be. She said, "How did you get so bossy?" Then that puny thing and loony thing grabbed the ball and bounced away. Oh, Katie Sue was a quick kid. She bolted quick as lightning. That's right, boys and girls. Bouncity, 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 bounce. Kickity, kickity, kick. Swingity, swingity, swing. And she was happily on her way. Whoa, look at Mean Gene. Boys and girls, do you think she's happy about it? She definitely upset now. Mean Gene thundered close by. Bouncity bounce, kickity kick, swingity swing. The recess queen was not amused. She raced and chased in your face that Katie Sue. No one spoke. Look at the friends, boys and girls. No one move. That's right. You go, Katie Sue. No one breathed either. Can you imagine everyone was holding their breath? Let's hold your breaths too. Look at all the kids. Look at the children up there. Look at the children here. Then from her back pulled Katie Sue a jump rope. Clean and bright. Wow. "Hey, Jeannie Beanie," sang Katie Sue. "Let's try this jump rope out. Here's one thing true. Until that day, no one dared to ask Mean Gene to play." Wow. But that Katie Sue just hopped and jumped and skipped away. "I like ice cream. I like tea. I want Gene to jump with me." Everyone sing. "I like ice cream. I like tea. I want Gene to jump with me." Wow, look at Katie Sue is super fun. She's friendly. She's kind. Aren't those some good ways to be, boys and girls, and some good ways to act? They sure are. Look at Mean Gene's face here. Wow. I don't think she's angry anymore, boys and girls. It looks as though she is curious or nervous. Very good. She just gasped and stared as if too scared to move at all. So Katie Sue swung once more. "I like popcorn. I like tea. I want Gene to swing with me." And Gene was so shocked even more. Then from the side, a kid called out, "Go, Gene, go!" And too surprised to even shout, Gene jumped in with Katie Sue. "I like cookies. I have tea. I want you to jump with me." Wow, boys and girls, look at this part right here. So amazing. Do you guys see that? They're both playing together. And guess what? Mean Gene is also smiling. Wow. Isn't Katie Sue the best? Yes. The rope whizzed and slapped. Faster, faster. The rope spun and flapped. Faster, faster. Until it caught in a tangled disaster. But they just giggled and jumped again. Well, now when recess rolls around, that playground's one great place. At the school bells ringity ring, those two girls race zingity zing out the classroom door. Jean doesn't push kids and smush kids and lalapaloosh kids anymore. She doesn't hammer them and slammer them and gets kits and kajammer them because she's having too much fun to ruppity rumting with friends. Bouncity bounce, kickity kick, swingity swing, hoppity, skippity, jumpity, ringity, zingity. Yes. The end. I do hope, boys and girls, that you found today's story quite fun and interesting. And most of all, I do hope that you learn, boys and girls. Let's go back to the page. That it is always important to be kind. Boys and girls, in the beginning of the story, right? In the beginning of the story, Mean Jean was so mean and kids were scared and nobody wanted to talk to her, right? And she remained the same. Her behavior never changed simply because they said that she was like that and nobody said she could change, right? And next, here comes Katie Sue. Here she comes, boys and girls. And look at her, she's happy, she wants to play, and she decides to play and show kindness to Mean Jean. And by simply doing that, Mean Jean became a nicer and kinder person. Yes, nicer, kinder, and a playful and a happy person as well. So, boys and girls, it is always important to be kind, even to the persons who are not kind, because sometimes your act of kindness can help them to change. All right, so for my parents who are tuned in, please let me know in the comment section where you're tuned in from. Please let me know the name of your little one. And before I do anything else, I want to say thank you guys again for being here. I want to do a big shout out this morning for three of my girls, but for who were here last week on the live and who might be here with me next week again. I want first and foremost to give a shout out to Zaya, right? I mean Zaya and Auntie Dion from Connecticut. Thank you guys always for tuning in. I want to give a shout out to Karine Mullings and her daughter Kaylee in New York City. I also want to give a shout out to Ava and Autumn. Those are Ty's girls and they're from here in Baltimore. I want to shout them out. I want to give a huge shout out as well to some of my students from my reading class, Carly, Skylar, Jace, Tamir, and Christian, for helping me with our new story time that is coming out on the page on the channel today. Thank you guys so much for helping. I really appreciate it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right on. I know that Auntie Dion is here. I know Jaden was here. Is there anyone else in the room right now? Please let me know in the comment section so I can give you a shout out next Saturday. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as you know, last week I started to talk about decoding. Right, I started talking about a bit about decoding, and today I said that I would continue on the topic or the practice of decoding. Before we get into that as well, I want to just take the time out and share with you guys why is it I am so interested in helping little ones to be fluent and confident readers. So first and foremost, as a little girl, my mom always read stories to me since, I was in her stomach, and coming out of that space and transitioning into another space, she kept reading stories to me. Oh my goodness, guys, give me 1 second, please. I really need to use the restroom. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, thanks for waiting. I know that Auntie Dion is online. I'm not sure who else is here. Can you let me know in the comment section, please, who else is here? Right. As I was saying, why am I so interested in reading? Why do I love reading and why do I want to help children to read? First of all, somebody read for me. That person was my wonderful mom. She read for me since I was in her stomach. She read with me as I grew through the stages. There was one point when I struggled as a reader, and she really spent the time each day to read with me, to read for me, to read to me, to practice my reading skill, to strengthen my reading skill. And of course, eventually I got better. So that's the first thing. The second thing, of course, is that reading is a life skill. Reading is a life skill. You must be able to read, and not just read, but read fluently and be able to comprehend as well. That's a big thing. You know, reading allows you to learn so many things, all things, I should say. It allows you to learn all things. It opens your eyes and understanding to just different ways of thinking, different cultures, different languages. And it is super important, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone. It is so important for our babies to be able to read from a young age, right? Reading can take them places that we as parents can't even probably take them. And reading can help them in all the other areas, of course, of their lives and in all the subjects that they're going to be doing at school. So those are some of the reasons. My other thing is that having lived in the US, thank you as well. Having lived in the US for almost 3.5 years now, I've realized that there are so many children, especially children that look like me, who are not able to read, and that is not sitting so well with me. I started years ago in Jamaica in my English department, where I work mostly on literatures in English and grammar and stuff like that. Even while I was teaching drama, I assisted in those areas. But coming to America and even being abroad in Japan, when I had to work with little kids, then I really started really practicing and learning more about reading and helping children with reading. Before I started my time as a elementary drama teacher, I was first a reading coach. So the interest grew even more there. The interest is growing more right now. I am also doing reading in the summertime with some third graders, and I'm enjoying that so much. And I know that I really would love the opportunity to engage and to work, especially with more parents who believe that, it's a challenge, and they don't trust me. It is not as challenging as so many persons think, but it does take intentional time, and it takes intentional strategizing with your little ones to help them to read. I want to jump right on into, it's 9:31, so let me get on into talking about decoding, and let's see how far we'll get today. I'm going to be back on next week, and I feel that the direction that we're going into for the lives, I think that I'm going to be like doing full on lessons for what I would hope to achieve and so on, and how I hope to help parents who are tuned in. So the very first thing is that there are five stages included in reading with children or teaching children how to read. There are 5 stages, right? There's pre-reading, which is like emergent literacy. You do the pre-reading, of course, with your toddler or as early as they're in your tummy, right? That's pre-reading, is when you're building vocabulary, listening skills, print awareness, love for books. You can do that through songs, through rhymes. You can do that through everyday storytelling, sharing pictures, recognizing the environment around your children, and just talking with them. That's pre-reading, right? The second stage is decoding. And this is, I must, well, all the stages are important, but this is one of the most challenging stages for many children. Decoding typically happens from the kinder level to the first grade level, right? I do know that some parents, based on their child's development, try to decode with kids in the pre-K level based on their level. I would say it's not required really at that level. Wait until they get to the kinder level and they're really stronger and are able to comprehend more. So decoding takes place from kindergarten stage to the first grade stage. Decoding is the process by which you translate written words into sounds and spoken words. Decoding is also segmenting, being able to segment words so you can pronounce the word properly. We're gonna get into it, so stay tuned. The next step in the next stage in the reading is fluency. Developing fluency when you are reading, not just reading because you can read and so on and you know a few words. That is not fluency. A lot of people say, okay, my child can open up. No, and the child is reading 2 words, they pause for an hour, start again. That is not reading fluency. Reading fluency typically happens in the first grade to the third grade level. I'm teaching third graders, and that's one of the major things that I'm working on, reading fluently. Some of my third graders are not so great in their phonemics as well as their decoding, so I'm still working on that with them. But at the end of the summer school, they should become fluent readers. They're at the third grade level. The next stage, the fourth stage in reading with children, is being ready. Reading to learn. Now we're talking about comprehension, comprehending. This takes place from the third grade to the fifth grade level. So now that we've mastered decoding, mastered phonics, mastered fluent reading, now we're reading to learn. Now we're analyzing with the child. Now we're gaining meaning for the text. Now we are also writing. Yes, they should have been writing in all the other stages as well, but that's mild writing. Now they're actually writing for themselves, writing so that somebody be doing narrative writing, doing narrative writing and other types of writing in this stage. Now they should be asking questions. Now they should be doing critical thinking and so on with their texts. The last part the last part of the reading stage is a critical reading. Critical reading, which this takes place from the fifth grade going all the way to the upper level, past elementary and going into adulthood. So the focus at this time is about evaluating when they're reading, critiquing information, understanding the author's purpose, the bias, and most importantly, this is critical reading, which the most important thing they should be able to do at this stage, they should be able to understand different perspectives. They should be able as well to have their own perspective on something, or have multiple perspectives. That's fine as well. Now let's get more into decoding, and I'm going to use this book just a little bit before I go to just show you some examples of how to decode words. Decoding, as I mentioned, is the process of translating written words into sounds and spoken words. Decoding, for example, let's use the word cat. C-A-T, cat. So we're going to be taking this entire word apart by saying the sounds, of course, k, at. And then we're going to break it up simply by putting our dashes, or not our dashes, our slants and so on. We're also be going in decoding. You also identify your vowels, putting a dot under there. Another step in the decoding is underlining or identifying blends or words that go together. We don't have any blends here. We only have letters. We only have regular alphabetical letters, and we have one vowel. So when there's a vowel, you put the dot. When there's no blends, word families, digraphs, when there's none of that, you simply break up the word with your little one, break it up, and you tap it out. You pronounce all the letters k, at. You're decoding the word. They see a word they don't know, you write it down for them. Write it down with them. You say the word first. The parent, the teacher, the guardian, the aunt, the uncle, you say the word. If you don't know the word, go online, ask. You're not gonna know all the words. I don't, even as a reading coach, I don't know every single word in the dictionary. Some words I want to ensure that I have the right pronunciation. I research as well. I go, I get the right pronunciation, and I model. I say it for the child. I listen to it, of course, model it for my child. Then we get it down so that they can see it. And then after modeling it for them, I give them a chance to practice the word as well. Then we break it down again. So why is decoding important? It is important because children will struggle to read unfamiliar words, leading to slow, mundane reading and just poor comprehension overall. Right? So we want them to know how to decode. They have to learn how to do that. If your child is struggling in this era, they're not going to be able to read fluently. This is like a big trouble spot, and this is what we're going to be working on. We're going to be working on it this week, and I want to work on it next week again, where I'm not sure if we're going to still be on the decoding journey for August, but let's see what God says and we'll work accordingly. But for today, let's use this story right here. Let's choose a few words and let me show you how you can help your little ones with the decoding process. For those of you who are listening, please let me know if you have any questions. Please let me know if I am coming through to you. I'm here talking, giving out some information that can help, but let me know if you're understanding what I'm saying so that I can continue. All right, guys, I'm going to take 2 minutes and take a pause so that you guys can write in the comment section. I see that there are 2 persons online. I know Auntie Diane is online. I'm not sure of the next person who is online, but if you have any questions, can you put some questions in the comment box, please? My goodness, I feel so hot. All right, thank you, Auntie Diane. So I see where you love the point of making a note of words. Absolutely. So here's what I would even add to that part. If there is a word in particular that you're reading with your little one in the storybook or in the text and they're struggling with that word, take it out, as I said, write it down, even put it on an index card and practice that word every day for at least a week, 5 minutes per day. Read it, write it, say it, sound it out, decode it, play a game with the word. And as your child practices, I'm pretty sure that that word is going to become so much easier for them to read, spell, and say and write as well. And not only are they going to become better with that word, but all the letters in that word, when they see those letters in different words, in different texts, in different phrases, it is going to become easier for them to read as well. Let me get a piece of paper towel, clean this off, and I'm going to show you guys a few words from the Recess Queen book. All right, here we go. Paper towel. use the box, you know. All right, so I think I'm going to write it down as I'm going. It's a process. I'm still learning as well. And I know that this process is going to get better. I think I'm going to, for next week, it would be good for me to have a board so I can actually show more instead of this little whiteboard. One step at a time. All right, so recess queen. Let's talk about the recess queen and let's talk about decoding with this. And let's say we're at the pre-K or kinder level, right? Let's say for argument's sake, we're at that level. Now for the pre-reading phonics warm-up section, right? Here's what we would, or what I would suggest. It would be good to choose words at your child's level. Choose words with blends. Choose words with word families, example, at, an, sorry, SL for sl, SN. I'm gonna give you the words. We're gonna so choose words, right? One word from the story, from the first part of the story, is kicked. One word is kicked. We're gonna write down kicked. Kicked. Another word is, we're looking for the lower level words, is another word is grab. She grabbed. And another word is smack. So we're gonna use those three words. Then we would focus, in terms of decoding, we would focus on the SM blend. We would focus here on the ED blend right there. And we would focus here on the GR blend. Right? So we would choose these words out of the story, first of all, after reading the story. But even before choosing the words, I would say discuss the story with your little ones and ask questions, ask them what they like, how they felt about it, because of course we're working on their critical thinking skills and their communication skills. Now back to decoding, I would suggest choosing words based on your child's level. So now we're working with kids at the kindergarten level for argument's sake, right? We're going to choose these three words and we're going to take them down, write them down, of course, identify them in the story, write them down on a paper, book, etc., whiteboards. And please get a whiteboard for your little ones when teaching them to read. Get a whiteboard. These are like, kids love these. They're so engaging, fun. There's so many things that you can do in the whiteboard. Please get a whiteboard. Oh, the words are backward. Okay, thank you, Auntie Dion. I did not realize that. Thank you. Let's see. I might have to turn the camera around. Kicked, smacked, grabbed, grab, smack, grab. All right, let me see. Let me turn it around and let me know if this is better. What the heck? Is this better, Auntie Dion? Auntie Dion, let me know in the comment section if this is better for you guys. So the only problem now, we have a little problem. Now we have technical difficulties, Auntie Dion. And this way you can't see it this way, right? This way you said is not good. But if I turn the camera the other way, you can see it. Auntie Diane is there. I'm not seeing the comments, Auntie Diane. Yes, thank you, Auntie Diane. I'm gonna have to get the bigger board. The bigger board that I have at school, and then viewing. All right, guys. So we are having a little bit of technical difficulties this morning because I'm trying to get it on the computer and it is not coming through. The live won't come through, and I'm having a issue right here showing you guys I am not able to finish it off properly. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing the comments. All right, so we need to figure out that part.